Hi everybody, welcome to Spotlight Strategy, and this is strategy number 4. So today I'm going to be sharing with you a strategy that you can use to ensure that your students use academic vocabulary. Shannon, I don't know about you, but there have been a lot of times when I've been in the classroom and I'm trying to implement cooperative learning to get my students together to talk and develop that academic discourse, and I don't always hear the academic vocabulary that we've been reviewing in class. So this strategy, Pick Up Vocabulary, is one way to ensure that you do get students using that target vocabulary. So in this case, the example that I'm going to share with you is from a math lesson. So here's a map of Lancaster City, and students were tasked with taking any two streets and sharing the relationship between those two streets. So here was the list of some academic vocabulary from that lesson. Form, right angle, perpendicular lines, parallel lines, and lines. And then I added some phrases that are descriptors of some of that academic vocabulary, such as always the same distance apart, intersecting lines. So then students would have to take turns, again, describing the relationship between two streets. So say I'm a student and I pick Orange Street and King Street. So I say Orange Street and King Street. Well, if I leave students on their own without any support, I may or may not get this academic vocabulary. So I'm going to give students some cards with some visual supports to aid my English learners. And these could be taken away eventually, and just students could be given the list of academic vocabulary. But these cards are laid out, and the idea is just as in the game Pick Up Sticks, that I'm going to try to pick up as many of these cards as I can as I'm describing the relationship between my streets. So Orange Street and King Street are parallel lines. They are lines that never cross, which means they are always the same distance apart. So in that way, Shannon, I'm ensuring that my students are going to be using the academic vocabulary and some of that language that goes along with this content area. So this particular strategy takes a little bit more preparation, but you could give students little index cards and have them create the vocabulary words and phrases themselves and draw the pictures. But it definitely is a great support if you want to ensure that students use that academic vocabulary.
So Carmen, you gave the example here in a math lesson. Could this strategy be used in any content area?
That's a great question, Shannon. I think that absolutely. You could use this strategy in an ELA classroom. For example, if you were asking students to compare and contrast two characters, you could give them some of that strategic vocabulary, those signal words that we use when we're comparing or contrasting, such as on the contrary or likewise, and then require students to pick up those words as they're giving their compare-contrast statements. So there you have it. Try it out for size. Pick up vocabulary.